I've been with WGCL and WTTS for 13 years.
I am the owner and head janitor of Bloomington Hardware.
I've been the head athletic director now for starting my 9th year. As assistant athletic director the other 20 years before that.
It is a real-life business learning lab, so we exist on the money we bring in advertising. So we lead by example. I see some accounts, I train on how to deal with accounts, I deal with advertising, I deal with production, I deal with marketing, and I deal with circulation.
Bloomington has its own version of Craigslist, and you can post vacancies on there for free. So, and it's classified style and based chronologically. So if you put an ad on there today, it's at the top. So we make sure that we're updating ads every week so that we're always showing up near the top.
People that give to boys are going to always give to boys, the same as the people that give to girls give to girls. Obviously, I have some women that own businesses here. They obviously want their dollars to go to the female sports.
Advertising is not considered a necessary expense.
We can't afford to advertise every day of the week. We try to fish while the fish are biting. People are shopping on the weekend. We try to put our advertising there. And we've now got it down. I think right now I'm only advertising on 2 radio stations.
And as far as our rentals go, being able to rent apartments, it hasn't made a difference. But getting any sort of financing, it has been very, very tough.
Luckily in Bloomington, there is a real push to support local businesses, and I think the community as a whole has responded to that. So there is a small local business base that's surviving, but more and more our customers are chains, and that means the decision maker is not located here in Bloomington.
Local it's really popular. People support local businesses. They shop at the farmers market. They want to do their canning. You know, they want to keep their dollars in their community because that's where their kids are growing up.
But we have our stable group that always seems to come through for us, and been very fortunate that with the situation money-wise in the country, that our sports still seem to generate enough to, what I say, be the nicest dressed, best dressed. We don't want for very much in our sports.
That means we have less money, means we employ less students. We're doing without. The biggest thing we've done is cut the paper, where 2 years ago the paper averaged between 16 and 20 pages. It's averaging now between 12 and 14. And again, that means less stories, less news coverage.
I think, obviously, in the last couple of years, there's been some changes, but I think those changes are due to the economy, not just in our community, but all over. Our program, for one, uses Booster Club advertising to help purchase equipment.
And we did scale back some of our staff. We did scale back the square footage that we rent from CFC, our landlord.
Well, it's a little bit tougher, but in the last couple of years, and especially this year, just because of obviously the cutback and the big donations that the community had to come with to get ECAs back into a position where we have different sports. So we're asking the community this year to do a lot more than they've had to do in the past.
People would cancel their advertising schedules, and then a lot of our consistent advertisers really scaled back what they had been doing. They stayed on the air, but they cut their expenditures substantially. One of our new learning curves is getting a Facebook going and being proactive on that, having it interesting and changing.
I think it's probably a little better. We do, our game ball sponsors are now 2 per game instead of 1 per game, and so that's an increase. We're seeing very good news. Our ad sales are back up to pre-recession numbers.
In general, our sales are up in every single department, except that, again, we've had a record heat and we've had record drought, and that has definitely impacted, for at least the last 2 months, our sales.
And I feel this year it's coming back a little bit. I still think we're the most efficient way and the most effective way to reach the student market. And I think advertisers hadn't forgotten that. They just are allocating less.
Well, the economy luckily in Bloomington hasn't changed what we're doing too much. You know, we have focused more on spending our money wisely. Bloomington has students, and I think the university's grown about 4,000 in the last couple of years. So the rental companies are doing okay.